It's Sunday morning on CBS. And here again is Charles Osgood.
Concert halls rocked for years to the music of Robert Plant and Led Zeppelin. Today, country rocks, as Robert Plant, still going strong at age 60, joins forces with country singer Alison Krauss, who's 37. Between them, they have won 22 Grammys and sold 30 million records, and they're only getting warmed up. With CBS Evening News anchor Katie Couric, we take note.
When Robert Plant reunited with Jimmy Page and John Paul Jones for this one-night-only concert last December, Led Zeppelin fans hoped it would spawn the reunion tour they've waited nearly 3 decades for. Instead, the golden god of rock and roll has teamed up with the string band belle of bluegrass, Alison Krauss.
Gotta get these boots, real good boots. I know how to wear boots, just gotta learn the harmonies.
Along with those boots, Robert Plant can hang his 10-gallon hat on a critically celebrated CD that's gone platinum.
Some sunny day, baby, when everything seems okay, baby.
A string of sellout shows, and this year's Grammy Award for Best Pop Vocal Collaboration.
Gone, really gone, 'cause you done me wrong.
You do come from 2 very different worlds. Obviously, you two attract very different audiences. So, who's buying this CD? Who's coming to see you perform?
Well, we're sponsored by Geritol, so I mean, we get a lot of people stopping by for a minute, but they have to go to the toilet.
A 23-year age difference notwithstanding, theirs is a partnership that seemed improbable to everyone. Everyone but them.
She got the money and I got the honey.
When I did finally meet Robert, our first conversation was about Ralph Stanley, and Robert talking about experiencing the Appalachian Mountains and listening to Ralph at the same time. And I thought, I know a little about you now.
Oh, you understand, little Maggie.
In fact, Plant's eclectic influences date back to the early 60s, where a gloomy, post-war England was lit up by the music of the Mississippi Delta.
As an English kid growing up in '61, there was no radio. There was just the American Forces Network and Voice of America. Every English group was playing Bo Diddley songs. We all wanted to be black Americans.
And Plant says the likes of Little Richard and Sleepy John Estes were welcome distractions from British blue-collar blues.
The breaking from the monotony and whatever it is from, from the steel mills or from, sharecropping or wherever it was.
And you worked for a British construction company for a time, right?
I never saw you there. Yeah, I asphalted the roads while my contemporaries, other musicians, used to stand on the sidewalk and go, "Oh, you're going to be famous, aren't you?" And I was raking out the bitumen. And I said, "Yeah, it's just a matter of time."
That prediction came true in spades. As Led Zeppelin's lead singer, Plant became the poster boy for the rock and roll excess of the 70s. But in Champaign, Illinois, a Led Zeppelin poster wasn't hanging on Alison Krauss's wall. It was on her older brother's.
He would be in the other room, but I can't deal with this. This is so great. I just can't believe it. Yeah, so
he was meditating.
Instead, Alison was taking violin lessons at 5 and winning fiddle contests by the time she was 8. She joined her first band when she was just 10. And while Robert was selling out stadiums, Alison was packing them in at the VFW.
I'd come and play fiddle tunes and I'd sing Paper Roses and some Hank Williams songs.
And like Robert, Alison was a superstar at 21.
The newest member of the Grand Ole Opry is Miss Alison Krauss.
When you see me on the street, don't wave, don't try to tease me with your smile.
As she and her band, Union Station, helped bluegrass expand beyond its cult following, Robert Plant was enjoying a prolific post-Zeppelin solo career. Pairing up was an opportunity for Plant to stretch his legs and his voice.
What greater test could there be than to actually sing with somebody who can really, really hold the note? I've never held a note in my life.
But mixing her mountain soprano with his Mississippi soul would require a maestro.
They say angelic for Alison, and they say, you know, demonic or something for Led Zeppelin or for Robert. You know, it's like the marriage of heaven and hell, right?
Legendary producer T-Bone Burnett was called upon to officiate that marriage.
Robert and I sent things back and forth. He was not so thrilled with what I sent, and then he'd send me something. I go, huh. And then T-Bone sent a big bunch of tunes, and both of us went, ah, this sounds like a record already.
Everybody's been talking. They say our love wasn't real.
Raising Sand consists of 13 obscure covers, from the Everly Brothers to Tom Waits to Mel Tillis in between. Recorded in Nashville, this collection of half-remembered hits was T-Bone's way of taking two icons out of their comfort zone.
What were you afraid of?
Oh, he'd pick some songs. I thought, you know, I'm so white. You know, this is probably not such a good idea.
What were you afraid of?
Not being good enough.
Please read the letter that I wrote.
They drew mostly rave reviews this past summer as they played to more than 250,000 people.
I want a Zeppelin tour.
I want a Zeppelin tour, but it's good to see this. This is very good quality music. It's really great.
After this experience, can you ever see yourself singing with Led Zeppelin again?
You got lovely eyes. I don't know who that guy was, honestly, because it all changes. That's what I live for, musical stimulation and change.
So going back to singing with Led Zeppelin doesn't feel organic or forward enough for you, or?
I can't even think about it. It's just not on my radar right now.
Instead, Robert and Alison have hinted another album could be on the horizon.
Seeing what T-Bone would come up with this time and what we might find could be very interesting. I'd love to see what would happen.
Whatever happens, this partnership is proof the song doesn't have to remain the same.
I mean, because it doesn't matter about getting old. What it matters about is getting new.
I'm glad you brought me here. I think it was one of the major moves of my late middle age.